In today's episode of Inside Football, let's talk about Arsene Wenger. Yes, Arsene Wenger, the man known as the professor himself, a man who came from Japan, that coached a club in Japan. Then from Japan straight to Arsenal. He came to Arsenal in 1996, if I'm not mistaken. Came to England and changed in England's football, changed the way their nutrition, the way they eat, because of Arsene Wenger. Football was changed in England. So he went on to set a record of the only manager that has won the league unbeaten with the Invisibles in 2004. Now, we are going to talk about Arsene Wenger and how he managed to stay afloat, qualifying for Champions League for 20 good years. 20 good years. He spent 23 years in Arsenal, and for those 23 years, he went to Champions League 20 straight times, if I'm not mistaken. He's the legend of Arsenal and a legend in football history, as a coach. Now he is the head of football development in FIFA, head of world football development. He's in charge of making the rules and assessing rules and changing them and amending the rules in football. So Arsene Wenger was hit with first of all, let's watch this video together so that you see what I want to talk about.
I must admit that I once saw one of the Arsenal teams celebrating, like really celebrating, because they came fourth.
Yeah, it's true.
And I was like, whoa, times have changed.
We had no money.
Yeah.
We had no money to invest. We were limited to 50% of the budget in wages. And we were in a position to pay the stadium back to be in the Champions League. So, of course, the tension was immense. And as well, the contracts were organized for big bonuses in case we reach the Champions League, So we didn't pay bonuses anymore to win a football game. We paid big bonuses for every player in case we reach the Champions League.
So in the mid 2000s, Arsenal was about to build a new club, build a new stadium. They wanted to leave the hybrid. So that was when they started the project of building this present Emirates. So they had to go borrow money in the bank, and one of the conditions that the bank gave to Arsenal before they could lend Arsenal that money was that Arsene Wenger will sign a new contract for 5 years that will keep him in the club before the money can be granted to be borrowed to Arsenal. Then another one is Arsenal. They must make sure to qualify for Arsenal for Champions League for the period of those years. And another thing was, according to Arsene Wenger, they stopped paying the players huge bonuses of winning matches, because everybody knows that players get bonus when they win in any match they win, so they get some bonus. But Arsenal didn't pay them bonus, so they started paying them huge bonuses for every season for qualifying for Champions League, qualifying for the top 4. So Arsene Wenger had the opportunity to leave Arsenal, go to Madrid, the France national team, the England national team, even to Juventus, Paris Saint-Germain, but he turned it down because of the project that he was handling. Without Arsene Wenger making those sacrifices, the bank wouldn't have borrowed Arsenal that money, and Arsenal wouldn't have built this Emirates Stadium that we are all enjoying now. So that's why when the new jerseys of Arsenal fans now are just battling, they don't know what the sacrifice that Wenger has made. Personally, like me, sometimes it hurts me. I see sometimes I tell my friends that it's as a Wenger that kept us in this mess. Why Arsenal does not have any mentality? But now, after coming across some stories about what he did in the past by all those sacrifices, I realized and I got to know the reason why he had to sacrifice. It's not like he doesn't know how to win or he doesn't want to win, but he had to make that sacrifice. He made that sacrifice. Arsenal was not winning to the extent that Arsenal was selling their key players, expensive players, in order to fund money. So it is not easy. It's not every coach that can do that kind of thing, surviving those 2 months, that era, and still keeping the club floating, keep the club in the highest level. So Arsene Wenger tried, and that is the reason why Arsenal could not win as many cups as we could have won. So till the contract now got expired in 2000 11, 12, 13. That was when Arsenal now started winning. So Arsene Wenger, after they have paid the debt, Arsene Wenger now bought Ozil, bought Sanchez, bought all those people. Then Arsenal won his first FA Cup in how many years? In 2014, won another one, then won it 3 times again before he now left. So Arsene Wenger tried for Arsenal for all he have done. So I want to say thank you to Arsene Wenger and everything that he has done for the Arsenal club. I'm not sure if there was no Arsene Wenger, if he didn't make that sacrifice, we would have been enjoying what we're enjoying today. We have to move from a Highbury or how many thousand capacity to Emirates Stadium, which is 62,000 capacity. That's a big change. So now the most important thing, the reason why I'm making this video is back then, Arsene Wenger made a statement. He said making top 4 in those periods is like winning a trophy. So we see that's why you see Arsenal always make top 4. We go to Champions League, and people doesn't know what is going on. Today, people doesn't know that making a top 4, they will be enjoying it and celebrating it like that. Now everybody wants to make top 4. Look at this season now. Man U, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Aston Villa are trying to make Champions League spot. Back then it was top 4. If you are not in that top 4, you are not going to Champions League. Now at least now they have included the 5th position. So everybody now is battling. Most of them have even forgotten that with them and Arsenal and Man City, we started competing for this league from the start. So everybody came to this league with the hope of winning it. But now some people are fighting for top 4 to make Champions League football next season. When Arsene Wenger said it, that the time will come that making the top 4 will be like winning a trophy. See Chelsea here last season when they made the top 4. Look at the way they were celebrating. They were celebrating as if they won a big trophy. Look at just for making top 4. I remember when they beat that Nottingham Forest that last season, last one. The way they celebrating. Arsene Wenger said it. The position fans will be like Arsene Wenger top 4, top 4. But you don't know. You never know what the man was going through then. It's not every club that will be battling that thing that he was battling with Arsenal and the bank, and they will still survive. Some club would have gone to relegation or even dropped to the mid-table. But Arsene Wenger tried. You see,